Hey, new devs! Escaping tutorial hell and need a portfolio online without risking huge bills from bots downloading your hero videos? In this guide, I'll show you how to safely deploy your website using Hetzner. I'll walk you through the exact steps to avoid common deployment headaches using the tech you already know. Let's get started. Before we get started, it is important to understand the risks posed to your website by bots. Why is this important? Because if you're hosting your website in AWS, Azure, Vercel, or another popular platform that bills you based on bandwidth, and if a bot comes to your website and decides to re-download the same file 100,000 times, then you could get hit with a ridiculously high service bill. This is why I choose Hetzner as my service provider. As you can see here with their option EX44 VPS, they have unlimited traffic, which will prevent any big bill from the bot scrolling. Now let's get to the fun part and harden our root server. Once you have purchased from Hetzner, you're going to get an email with your IP address for your VPS, your login and password, so you can log in the first time. So you're going to do this all through the terminal. Now, I don't want you to be scared of it. I know a lot of new devs find this black box quite intimidating, but we're here to learn. So it's very likely and have this expectation that you might fail a couple times. And it is okay to clear your VPS and rebuild it using Hetzner control panel tools. So with that being said, let's get started with the hardening process. Now, once you get those credentials, we're gonna SSH or secure shell into our server. So to do that, we're gonna type SSH you probably got something different like your username, which is first, then @ and your IP address. And I'm right now using a Raspberry Pi for this demonstration. So that's what we're gonna do. Well, then you're gonna get this message about establishing your fingerprint. You're gonna type yes. And then you're gonna add the password. And bam, you're in your root server. Yay! Great. So we did use a username and a password to log in, right? What if someone else got a hold of these credentials? That sounds like a really bad thing. So in order to make things more secure, we're going to remove the ability for someone to log into the root server using username and password. And instead, they're going to need to use a special ID badge to log into the server. So we're going to open a new terminal window like I did here on the right side. And we're going to generate this new set of credentials. Okay, now we're gonna use the command ssh keygen, which is gonna allow us to create that ID badge I just said. We're gonna use the -t flag to specify the type of algorithm I want to use. In this case, I want to use the Edward Case algorithm, which is one of the most modern and secure. We're also gonna use the -c flag to specify a text label for our keys. It's going to allow us to identify them easier if we need to look for them later. It's going to ask us for like a file name. I'm going to try to use the same title, but maybe with the root server at the end. It's going to ask us to enter a passphrase, which allow us to be more secure. I'm not worry about that right now, so I'm going to press return, then return again, and bam, we have our fingerprint here and our random marked image. And by the way, these are just for demonstration purposes. These credentials are going to be deleted later. Okay, so let's go back to our root server and change the password. Remember, Hetzner gave us that weird password might get compromised, so let's change it just to be more safe. I know we're going to be using these special types of keys, but it's also good to have in the very back those credentials changed as well. So we're going to type password like this, enter, changing password for Ubuntu, current password, and we're going to create a new password. Perfect, and the password has been changed successfully. Okay, the next step will be to copy the new ID badge into the root server. So when we try to access the root server, we are given a thumbs up that we are the right person. So we're gonna type the command ssh copy ssh-copy-id with the I flag, and then we're gonna put the location of our keys, which is in the folder of ssh to ed 25519.pub, and then we're gonna do the root server, which is Ubuntu, on my case, local. Remember, this address at the end is gonna be actually your username at the root server, the IP of the root server. So let's do that. Perfect. Okay, it's gonna ask me for my password of the root server. And bam, the keys were added successfully. Okay, after you do those changes, we need to make sure we restart that root server so anything is like saved and correct. So we're gonna go back to the root server and type sudo system ctl restart sshd. I'm gonna ask for my password, Ubuntu, and bam, we did it. Next step is going to make sure that we update our root server. So we're gonna type sudo apt update and double and, because we're doing two things, sudo apt upgrade. Oops. With the white flag. Let's do that. As you can see here, it's going to start like updating our server, downloading everything. Yeah. Okay, the server has been updated. So far we have changed the password to the root server. We have updated the root server, and we have copied the special ID badge from the my local computer into the root server. So the next step is going to be to create a new user in the root server, right? And this user is going to probably be added to the group that has ability to do sudo commands in the root server. So that's for extra security. You see, we're like layering security steps as we go. Okay, so in the root server, let's type sudo add user, my name, betmig, or your name. We're gonna do a new password. And my full name, root number, work, home, other, yes. And bam, we have the new user. Now we're gonna add my user into the group. So it's gonna be sudo space user mode dash ag. This allows us to add the username to the sudo group like this, and bam, that's added. Next step is gonna be to modify the ability to log in with username and password. So let's do that. We're gonna type sudo nano. Nano is a text editor, space, etc. Then we go do ssh the underscore config.d custom.conf. Okay, so this address just allows us to check those special configurations on Ubuntu. So let's do that. All right, so here we're gonna type that we only want people to access this server through the port 2222, okay, 2222. And we're gonna permit root login. No, we won't allow that. We're gonna also type password authentication. You're gonna set it up to no. Pubkey authentication is gonna set up to yes, and allow users only betmig. All right, and then this is what we're gonna be saving. So we're gonna exit. Yeah, we're gonna type yes, and that's written. Okay, so now we're going to update one more time our app. Oh, sorry, I need to do sudo. I have to update. There you go, forgot the sudo command. Okay, then sudo apt. We're gonna install the open SSH server. Perfect. And once we do that, we're gonna enable SSH and we're gonna restart the SSH. Okay, so system ctl enable SSH. Perfect, you see it's being enabled for both of us. We're gonna select number 2. Put the password. Perfect, it was complete. System ctl start SSH. Let's do that for number 2. Type your password, and that is complete. So now, now we can log into the root server using our new username that has sudo abilities. So you have that extra security. So let's try that out here on the right side. So let's do let's want to try sudo SSH betmig at ubuntu.local. Put my password, and I'm able to log in with my credentials. Yay! Okay, now we're going to install the uncomplicated firewall. I really like this application. Let's do that. So sudo apt install uncomplicated firewall UFW, enter my password, and bam, it is being installed. Once you do that, we need to start setting it up. So we're gonna do sudo UFW default deny incoming. So that will deny any incoming. Sudo UFW default allow outgoing. We're going to have everything outgoing outside. Okay, allow. And then we're gonna do sudo UFW allow. We're gonna make sure that we allow through the port we set up before, which is gonna be TCP. That's 2222 port. Set it up. Bam, release updated. We're also gonna do the same for port 80 and port 443. Fantastic. Once that's enabled, we're gonna enable the firewall. Enable sudo UFW enable. May destroy existing SSH connections. Proceed with operation. Yes. Okay, so the firewall is enabled. Yay. Okay, so after you do that, now we're going to install fail to ban. So this is a tool that allows us to see if someone's trying to log into the server like too many times, and you just ban them pretty much with a set of parameters we're going to specify. So let's do that. Sudo apt install fail to ban. Installing. Yes. Okay, it's gonna take a little while there. Okay, let's do that. Let's do type sudo nano text editor. Now we're gonna try to retrieve that file, fail to ban jail.local. We're gonna open the jail. So on the jail, we're gonna type default between brackets and then ban time lowercase equal 1 hour. We're gonna ban them for 1 hour. Find time equals 10 minutes. We're gonna put max retry equals 3 times to the specific location. Let me see. Yes, enabled equals true. Port is gonna be the port we're gonna be accessing, which is 2222. And mode equals to aggressive. And that's it. We're gonna exit. Yes, perfect. Now we have modified our file and have those values in there. Now we're gonna need to restart system ctl restart fail to ban. We did that. Now we're going to continue updating the root server with the latest upgrades and updates. So let's do sudo apt install unattended upgrades. It's gonna take a little while there. Perfect. And now we're gonna do sudo dpkg reconfigure with the flag flow unattended upgrades. Yes. That's gonna take a little while there. And we're doing a lot of things to we're pretty much like installing things for observability, so we can keep track of any behavior. We can check logs to see if there was any attempt. So let's do that next. Sudo apt install htop iotop and iftop and ncdu. Right. Okay, then sudo apt install Chrony. Yes. And then we're gonna do again another sudo system enable Chrony and sudo system start Chrony. Okay, great job. That wasn't hard, wasn't it? So our next video, we're gonna go through the process of installing Docker on a root server and setting up the deployment process using GitHub. So we can have like CI and CD pipelines set up. So yeah, I hope you liked it and hope to see you in the next video.